Don't forget to check out my website at the scriptures that I downloaded.
Hi guys, my name is Tiffiq and I am a Christian creative. Basically, my content is related to my journey, my relationship with God, and I do this through expressing myself through poetry, blogs, and this is my first vlog. So I'm pretty excited. I would love for you to comment below, let me know your thoughts afterwards, and of course, the typical YouTuber comments or disclaimer. Subscribe to my channel, turn on those notifications, like, comment, subscribe, all those good stuff. You know what it is. Yeah, stay tuned. You might be wondering, Tiff, what is your first topic gonna be about? So I had to think long and hard, and I just thought, let's talk about encouragement. In this vlog, I'll be talking a bit more about the pros and cons of encouragement, how to be a good encourager, just some useful tips as to just giving encouragement, and a practical example or demonstration that, I think works. So I think examples are good, so I think it's good. That's it in a nutshell. So if you were supposed to define encouragement, how would you define it? For me, I define it as the act of giving support, confidence, or even hope in someone whilst they try to attempt to do something. And I have seen how encouragement can actually make a whirlwind of a difference for someone, and it can have a lifetime impact. Just one little encouragement can actually go a very long way. So there are 3 benefits of encouragement. 1, it can actually lead to success. 2, it creates a positive atmosphere, positive energy. And 3, it rids anxiety, fear, doubt, all of that. So there are 3 disadvantages or drawbacks from encouragement. And you might be wondering, encouragement is a good thing. Like, what are the cons for this? But they do exist. And for example, 1 could be you just become overconfident. So that is a major drawback. You lack humility in everything that you do just because you're getting like a whole ton, but you're not humble. Your mindset isn't humble based on, the feedback that you're receiving. Secondly, it can actually lead to complacency. When you're getting all of the good feedback, sometimes you're like, oh, I'm good, I'm set, I'm good where I'm at, I don't need to improve anything. So that is something that is definitely a drawback for persons who, it gets to their head. Thirdly, I would say dependence on validation is definitely a drawback from encouragement. That being said, a lot of persons can actually depend heavily on the feedback from their audience, and that would actually, spike or reduce their confidence in their work. So that's something that we definitely need to pay keen attention to. What are some characteristics of a good encourager? There are already so many naysayers, so many critics, so many negative people in this world, and we just need more encouragers. So here are 3 characteristics of a good encourager. 1, be authentic. You have to be real in your response or in your feedback. Secondly, use supportive words. So there are so many positive words that you can use, and you have to be very mindful of the impact of the words that you use as well. Thirdly, you have to be non-judgmental in nature when you are a good encourager. So if you were actually on my Instagram already, I tried to get a few tips from my followers based on 3 tips for encouraging yourself, because that is very, very important. So when it comes on to self, positive affirmations is a must. You have to encourage yourself. So whether you're doing quotes or you're reading quotes or you're, reading mantras, whatever it is, scriptures, listening to music, there's so many ways that you can encourage yourself. Also, another way to encourage yourself is that you can garner inspiration from your loved one, from those around you, from social media, from even nature. Go outside. You can be inspired. You can be encouraged. That's what I do. Those are some tips for self-encouragement. There are 3 scriptures that I found that are related to encouragement that I thought would be very fitting. Firstly, 1 Thessalonians 5 verse 11 NIV reads, "Therefore encourage one another and build each other up, just as in fact you are doing." Secondly, there is Hebrews 10 verse 24 NLT, which reads, "Let us think of ways to motivate one another to acts of love and good works." And thirdly, Proverbs 27 verse 17 reads, from the NIV version, "As iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another." I'm a very practical person, and as promised in my intro, I really wanted to provide you with a demonstration so that way you can actually put theory into practice. As promised, I got some knives. So I got 2 metal knives and I got a plastic knife, and let this be a representation of people. Just a disclaimer, this exercise is not for kids, so do not try this at home. Okay. So these are representations of people, and just to give you a bit of background, to be honest, knives' purpose is actually not just used for tearing or cutting. It can also be used for sharpening, and in this case, it's a metaphor for encouragement. The knives are actually made of different elements. So you saw a plastic knife and you saw a knife made of metal or iron, so to speak. What I would say is that when knives become dull, you have to be very keen as to the elements that you use to sharpen the knife. When the knives become dull, it doesn't mean that they're useless. It just means that they can be or they are ineffective. And how you sharpen them is very, very important. So you wouldn't be maximizing your potential if you used a metal knife and a plastic knife to sharpen each other. You'd have to use something of the same quality or the same made or material. That would be very, very effective. To put that into simple terms, get encouragement from persons who are like-minded, who are actually, of the same strength, who have the same vision, who understands you. So that's something, it would actually resonate more. I just had a random thought about my grandpa sharpening pencils with knives. That's when the struggle was real. But knives are very symbolic in this case or in this demonstration where, in order to maximize your potential, you have to really sharpen. And sharpening once in a while is very, very important. So the sharper you get is the more encouraged you are, the more, confident you are, the more hopeful you are. So it's very, very important that in this case, you find persons or you have a support group or you have an accountability team that you can definitely rely on, but don't become dependent on because of their validation. But you actually have that support group that can actually encourage you well and help you to be effective and, to prosper. I hope you got it. I mean, I got it, but I hope you got it. So that's the demonstration. So I can give 2 biblical examples of persons in the Bible who really encouraged each other during, tough times. So one, it would be the relationship between Moses and Joshua. Joshua was the successor of Moses, and Moses had to continuously encourage Joshua to be strong and courageous also, pertaining to his abilities in becoming a leader for the Israelites. Another story of encouragers would be the relationship between Ruth and Naomi. They were really in a destitute place in terms of losing family members that were very dear to them, and they really had to try to encourage each other during that tough time. And with that encouragement, it just led to a better outcome, better living situation, and they were just at their optimal. I hope you were blessed by this video. I really pray that you feel the urge or feel compelled to become a better encourager, to encourage yourself more, and to really look to your source of encouragement from the Word of God. Because as it says, it's sharper than a double-edged sword, and the Word of God is really your truest form of encouragement. So I hope you are blessed, and grace and peace to you guys. Don't forget to check out my website at www.Tiffiq.com, and I'm also on different social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, Twitter. and you can find me at IAmTiffiq.